Well, it's been a long time coming, but at last one of my favourite steam locomotives is finally in Train Simulator. Well, to be more specific, the JA is actually my favourite steamer of all time, to be brutally honest. Of course, this was made by NZTS Workshops, and obviously it's an add-on for the Midland line, but because that route is still unplayable on my end, I've had to resort to using the freeware Pleasant Point route instead. And indeed, this particular number, JA 1260, there's a somewhat good reason why I chose this particular engine, because in real life 1260 is preserved at the Plains Railway, which is near Ashburton in South Island, and isn't actually all that far away from the Pleasant Point Railway, which in and of itself isn't too far from the city of Plimmerton. And indeed, this other locomotive here, which is the little Doves A, is another one that's based at the Plains Railway. And yes, I did make sure to get the number right. So, yeah, the JAs, for those who don't know, they are a class of 482 tender engines. And the 482 type, I should add, is otherwise known as a mountain, because, correct me, I don't know if this is certain. I don't know if this really is true or not, but I think the name, the mountain nickname comes from, well, refers to was derived from the original. Oh God, I really screwed this up, haven't I? I believe the world's first 482 was the New Zealand Railways X-Class in 1908, and they were designed to, I believe they were designed primarily to run on the rather mountainous central section of the North Island main trunk, in particular between, I believe it would have been between Plimmerton and Plimmerton. Of course, with all the deviations built in the 80s, it's obviously been a much easier route, and it's still not as simple as Pleasant Point, of course. So, I believe there were 51 JAs built. 35 of them were built at the New Zealand Railway's own Hillside workshops in Dunedin, while the remaining 16 were built by the North British Locomotive Company in Scotland. The 1260 is one of the Hillside JAs. And the other thing is that this JA add-on only includes the Hillside variant. I realise that it's probably a bit too much to ask, but I wouldn't mind seeing the North British version as well, since 1275 specifically is my favourite steam locomotive. Well, but just generally the JAs as a whole. And I believe out of the 51 that were built, there's about, I think, 6 or 7 preserved. I always get the number of preserved JAs confused with VABs, which, if you don't know, are type of 462 Pacific. And they were one of the most successful steam locomotives in New Zealand. Come to think of it, so were the JAs. I suppose I did not blabber about for too long, and actually get this thing moving. But first, I need to set the points. The first time I tried this, well, the previous attempt I tried recording this thing, I got it moving, but forgot to set the points and crashed into the thing. Essentially ran the coaches off the line. I will say that the overall detailing of this thing is very, very impressive, and it's quite an accurate rendition of the real-life locomotive. And I say that partly because I have actually stood on the footplate of some JAs in real life, although not 1260 itself. I think the JAs whose footplates I have listed are 1271, 1250, and possibly 1275 as well. Yeah, definitely 1275 if there it is. Sounds aren't too bad, although I think the loop for the whistle, the whistle would have been a bit done up a bit, because because that audio kind of just cuts in and abruptly cuts out. It's not like a smooth trend. It's not like a smooth fade in or out or whatever. Who might probably shouldn't say that sort of thing when I don't make them myself. When I don't make battles myself. Of course, being a very short route, won't really be able to get up to any fantastic speeds on this video today, but I do remember reading, I think Sean Miller's NZR steam locomotive book. He talks about how the JAs were famously some of the fastest steam locomotives in the country, but I think they were beaten out by, I thought they were beaten out by like the UD class 460s. Wait, no, the UDs, they were the, I don't think they were necessarily the fastest, but I think they did at the very least have the largest driving wheels ever fitted to a New Zealand steam locomotive. Incidentally, the UD is now an extinct class. It's like a lot of other Kiwi designs, like, well, not necessarily Kiwi designs, but I mean like NZR classes. And so, as for the JAs being fast engines, I remember reading that in that aforementioned book that they could attain like the equivalent of about 70 miles an hour, which I think would have been on the South Island main trunk between like Plimmerton and Christchurch. So when I was following along that section in 2018, it looked to me like that whole area was pretty flat. And consequently, there's a good amount of space to get these things up to a decent speed. Slip there. Slip to that. I'm not sure why this thing's coming to a complete stop. Then again, I'm still getting to grips with driving this thing, so there's bound to be some screw-ups as we go along. Right, have we cleared the points? No, we haven't. Push forward slightly. Looking at the tender from this angle, that colour in there, I know it's meant to be black, but from this angle it looks like green, sort of, and like the Brunswick green livery that you would see on diesel locomotives from the Pennsylvania Railroad. Don't move. I wonder if it's to do with the lubricator system. I'm a bit puzzled as to why this thing seems to like the rolling distance isn't all that good. But, as I say, I mean, I don't know for certain, but I think it would be to do with the lubicators. Because I've never seen a steam locomotive in a train simulator that has, like, an advanced lubricator system. At least none that I remember off the top of my head. Regarding this whistle, whilst it is pretty accurate, it almost seems to me a bit like, well, it sounds either too weak or too much like a KB. Although for all I know, they might have had the same type of whistle. But I remember, I think, the times I've heard whistles of like 1240 and... Oh, great. Actually, you know what, screw it, let's take the goods train instead. Because I was initially going to couple up to the coaches over there, but obviously I keep setting the points wrong. I think the JA add-on, if I'm not mistaken, also includes these 56-foot coaches. And I think I saw on the Steam page that you also get this, the Z class wagon. This looks like the sort of thing that would carry frozen meat or other perishable foods. As you can tell, because I can tell that this looked like it had lube and grills all over the place. So I'm thinking that for this video, I don't think I'll do a round trip of the line, and instead we'll just pitch up to the freight train and then continue on to Pleasant Point. Considering how badly I'm doing here, I'd hate to think how I'd go if I was either driving a real JA. Come on, 1260. Start losing my patience again. Motion without forward. So that means pointing downwards. Yep, predictably this isn't going as well as I thought it would. It's trying to make sure that you don't go too fast when coupling up to rolling stock is a bit of a challenge. Although I see we've made it this time. Get down the front for the screenshots. At some point soon I will be getting a new computer because I have really just had enough of this awful machine that I'm using at the moment. It just seems completely incapable of running Train Simulator at anything close to a smooth frame rate on a consistent basis. I mean, there are some routes that work perfectly fine, like yesterday when I was driving the Plimmerton Northern F45 on Marias Pass, but it just seems to vary from route to route. Yes. That's good. Hold down the sander, but you actually do have to hold down that thing. It doesn't stay held down. That's no fault of the JA. It's just a quirk of the game. It's like all this lag. Most of these wagons, aside from that bogey frozen meat van, are from the Midland Line add-on. And this one right at the back, which is the LA, I believe. Yeah, just about to see it there on that little panel. It does say LA. These were an incredibly common type of wagon in the NZR days. I don't know how many of them were built, but I think it was well into the thousands. And they could be seen all over. They really could be seen all over the place, just like the DLs in the North Island. I'd be pleasantly surprised if we ever got a Penny Rail era route in Train Simulator. Though if we did, I like to think that it would run pretty smoothly across most computers, especially shitty laptops like mine. Even though this one is meant to be a proper gaming laptop. And I don't know if it's a fault with the computer itself or the game, and I don't really know how computers work, so I'm not entirely sure what you're supposed to do in order to, like what sort of parts you would need for it to be a good, proper computer to run the game smoothly. But at the moment, I think this thing I've got at the moment is running on 16 gigabytes of RAM, but I don't remember what like the processor or graphics card are like. I mean, I remember that when the Midland Line route was first released, I was initially having serious issues with frame rates, and I still have those serious issues now. I did contact NZTS workshops themselves for advice, and I'm not criticising their customer service. If anything, it's actually quite good. But despite their efforts to help, I still haven't been able to really get truly satisfactory performance from the Midland Line. Although, actually, now that I think about it, once I've finished with this run, I'm going to try and actually load up the Midland Line. Although I probably will have to lower the graphics settings even more than I already have done, and see how it goes. And if I do, I'll probably just drive the EO, or, well, I've got three choices really of either steam, JA, diesel, DJ, or electric, EO. And I remember being really looking forward to getting the Midland Line and being able to drive electric locomotives between Althea and Arthur's Pass, which is something that hasn't been done in real life since 1997, I believe. These days, of course, Kiwirail just primarily use the DX locomotives, or DXC to be more specific, on services passing through the Althea Tunnel. I need to find a manual for this thing and have a proper read of it, because me driving this thing today is mainly based on how I'm actually going about it. It's mainly based on how I've just driven other engines in TS, like, for example, I guess just the Caledonian Railway 812 class. This is embarrassing. I definitely think this is an engine that I need to practice on a fair bit before I truly got the hang of driving it. It's not like the previously mentioned Burlington Northern F45, where you can just put the reverser in forward, release the brakes, and you're away. There's not really that much else you have to do. Then again, I'm comparing a diesel to a steamer, which I realise is a somewhat strange logic. The only comparison I can really think of off the top of my head. Now let's try to move it. Let's see if we can get this thing moving again. This is a bit odd. Just finically lubricating doesn't seem to be helping. I don't think attempting to do a full start would help. Why is that lubricator? Come on. I mean, it obviously to make sense why this thing's even got a lubricator in the first place. It's to make sure all the moving parts can still run smoothly. Well, I've got no idea what I'm doing wrong. Come on. Don't get your mind up. It's like one second it wants me to put it in the pump only, and then the next it wants me to point it facing down. If I can't get this thing moving, I'll probably just have to end the video here. We'll keep trying. Lubricator water drain. What about that again? Nope, that doesn't do anything. to move above any more than... Oh wait, I just realised that looks like I've had the engine brake on the whole time, but that's not, doesn't seem to be doing anything towards moving. Oh, I say that, and releasing the engine brake, and she's on the move again. One or more feet below current oil requirements. Yeah, I definitely want to practice on this thing. If I can sort the blasted frame rates out. That chance. My luck. Just realised I was probably going to the station a bit too fast. Turntable, which is the pit is filled in. I tried turning a DJ on that turntable once and it crashed the game. And when I tried pressing the G key to move the turntable, that's never happened before, so it's rather unusual, to say the very least. That's well, I wouldn't say job's a good one because I've royally screwed up multiple times, and I wonder if any other Kiwi YouTubers will make videos on the JA besides myself and NZTS workshops, of course. I have seen a couple of British guys doing videos on this thing, and of course they both get perfect frame rates. Lucky so-and-sos. But, oh, by the way, this DJ is, this particular one, number 1228, is another engine that I've seen in real life, although not in this Nippon pink livery. Because when I saw 1228, it was at Mainline Steam's Plimmerton depot, and she's in that like, black, sort of a black livery with the blue blue chevron stripes at each end. So is 1229. Although I've never seen... Well, I think I did see DJs working in Dunedin, but that was back in 2007, so I don't remember it all that well. But regardless of the awful frame rates and me royally screwing up this thing with regards to it stalling and not being able to get it moving for ages, I do hope that you've enjoyed this video with seeing that the JA is finally in Train Simulator. If you are brave enough to buy this thing, I'll leave a link to the Steam page in the description. Alright, until next time, take care everyone.